Welcome, Atlanta United family, to another episode of Resurge the Spike ATL. Here with Tommy and John. John is not his first time here. I'm hoping a lot of guys you remember him. Uh, Before we get to anything, go subscribe to. Oh, snap, hold on. Press the wrong thing. Go subscribe to FILA Sports Podcast on YouTube. Also go look up Apartment 85. You can see Tommy's Twitter as well on Twitter's username as well. Let's go Ducks
Trent,
96.
Let's
Trent,
go.
follow it.
And well, yeah, guys. The first thing, before we get to anything, going back to Atlanta's win over Miami, over a 10-man Miami for most of the game. I want to get your guys' opinion on the game. I mean, I saw it. Um, I wasn't too impressed, also given the fact that, like I said, we were down a man for three, or they
Up a
were down
man.
a man. They were down a man for three-fourths of the game. We weren't really able to seize opportunities like we should have. But yet again, we walked away with 3 points. That's all that really matters at the end. Getting the 3 points and moving on to the next one. Regardless, you win 1-0 or 5-0. But obviously, there's some takeaways, good takeaways and bad takeaways from this.
You sound like Taylor Twellman on the broadcast.
Come on, man!
We
Don't
should be
tell
up
me.
5-0.
Hey, man, if you're gonna insult me, man, you might as well insult me like with something else, man.
He was freaking out like in the 60th minute. Like he's like, "They should be up 5-0. I can't believe they're 5-0." And then John Champion said something about them being the American Family Insurance champions, and Twellman was pissed. He was just getting so like he just did not understand the joke of what it was and why it was so important, and it was amazing. It was just, Twellman. I kind of enjoyed him. I know most people hate him, but man, the past couple games that he's done with Atlanta specifically, he is just grumpy. The last time he complained
He's
about the
throwing
crowd.
darts directly at Atlanta.
Yeah, he was complaining about the crowd. I forget what game it was, but it was
Yeah.
like I think it was like a Sunday afternoon game or something like that too. But like he was complaining about the crowd and how the crowd wasn't into the game. And then this week it was all about not being up 5-0. And it I wasn't happy with the commentary.
What about you, John? What do you think about the game?
It should have been 5-0. Absolutely. How could we? How could we not do that? But no, I'm not gonna lie. I was pretty in and out of the game. I'm happy that Martinez is back on the score sheet. I was starting to have my doubts with him, and of course, Arujo, probably being our best player so far, next to Thiago. I mean, I'm glad that we're scoring and we're just getting that good momentum, which we need honestly, because these last two games. I mean, although the last game, not Miami, but against Pachuca, I know it's a cup that really has no significance. Let's just be honest. But I mean, a win is a win, especially against a Liga MX team. So I hope we can keep this momentum up. And I'm glad we won. I'm just hoping for more results like this and hopefully more 5-0s if we ever gonna get that.
I mean, it felt like it was going the way the game was going and how we've been trained over the past two seasons. It felt like at the beginning of the second half we were going to allow a goal. It definitely felt like it was just coming, that we were expecting it. We were going to get a terrible turnover, and they were going to score. And there were a couple times where they did look dangerous. I thought Campbell and Franco both looked amazing. I thought that Campbell really extended himself quite a few times. Where in previous games, I think that was my complaint, that he didn't dive to the ground enough, right, to stop a shot. But he was diving all around the place. They helped move the ball forward. Rocco's Rios didn't have much to do. He definitely, held the ball a lot and moved up very far. But it was nice to see them play well. No corners, and the corners looked really dangerous. I don't think there was that many, but they didn't look dangerous. So there's not too much to complain about overall in the game, besides obviously scoring. They were close and a lot, but whatever. A win's a win. But when they got the second goal, then you felt okay
Yep.
about it. And
Absolutely.
I liked Aruju not forcing the ball there. I think that other times he would have forced it. Maybe if Joseph wasn't in that game, he wouldn't have trusted whoever was there. But he trusted Joseph and got it back to him. So that was nice to see. Marcelino Moreno, comment Josh makes, absolutely amazing. I can understand, he leads the team in giveaways, right? But that means he's taking chances too, right? Like if he wasn't creating chances, then obviously I could see why people would be upset. Felipe had a spaces going on the Athletic after the game, and he was talking again about how one of his people that he talks to thinks that they should trade Moreno. Like I'm not about that at all. I think Moreno's our long-term answer. I think Thiago Mata is, when people don't want to hear this, is a quick stop here. Whether it's, it's probably 2 years, would be, unless it went really bad. I think that he's going to be out by next year. I think Moreno, with the contract that he has, is just a steal. And he's the heart of this team. I really do believe that.
I agree.
Last year, when this team was struggling, when you had no Joseph, he was still recovering, wasn't be able to play every game. Moreno was putting the team on his back. I know Barco was a big part of that last year as well. But Moreno, man, there's just some games specifically where he would just take over and he'd be all over that ball. And that would be the biggest mistake this front office would make in a long time, is if they got rid of Moreno.
Yeah, that would definitely hurt us. Moreno's an engine. I love him. Like, I know that we've been looking for, the next Almiron or whatever, but no, Moreno has definitely taken the team on his back, like you say, and I definitely have a lot of love and appreciation for what he does to the team. Because when, let's say, whatever striker's up top, when it's not Joseph, he's got to be the one. Okay, cool. I got to make the result. I have to make the difference in the game. So
Now, something I was really curious about, given the fact that, for the first half, Araujo had a couple like shots where, you kind of saw that he was kind of overdoing things to a certain extent. But yeah, second half, everybody just came out, in a different gear, working better together as a team. But I don't know with Atlanta United, whether those periods of time, can can be prolonged, because at times we just see it for, a short amount of time, whether we see it the first half or the second half, or, we never tend to have, the full 90 minutes where everybody's locked on defense, everybody's locked on offense. I get it, they're not, to that level where, they're, elite athletes, but yet again, they're professionals. And, I don't know. I just feel like, when it comes to, them maintaining that, that, like, I'm not gonna say below average or like a certain average, but just being able to maintain the rhythm throughout the whole 90 minutes kind of has, I don't know, in my opinion, been lacking for us this season. Obviously the injuries, obviously guys, some guys that are gonna be coming in as well. I don't know. I don't know. That's just my personal opinion on how I see this game. Again, we weren't really able to take advantage of many opportunities that we had, but man, the 3 points is what talks at the end. That's that simple.
I would say that this team, there was a 4-game span where we were just killing everybody in shots, possession, shots. But what we keep talking about, nobody was finishing. Nobody could score goals. This game could have been 5-0, but it was the same thing. Couldn't finish. There was Joseph could have had a hat trick in this game, right?
Yeah.
He definitely had the opportunities. Arujo had some chances. There were some guys that just, barely missed. So, overall, this team just hasn't had a finishing touch all season, right? Like, we just haven't seen that 5-0 dominating game where everybody's just coming in. Like, we're not getting that at all. But I don't know, as far as this game goes, I don't think you really could have asked for too much more, because I think that we've seen in the previous losses, especially the 1-goal losses, it's always been an individual mistake that has cost us usually the game-winning goal from the other team, right? It's always been that Campbell mistake or the Franco mistake. Like, we've talked about those games before. They work together very well. And, I know we got some new guys we're going to talk about that come in, but I like seeing, what Franco and Campbell did, maybe the break, them working together in that extended international break. Maybe that's going to help out a little bit. I mean, it's a huge opportunity here coming up, right? Like, you can't play the new guy. I think that they want to stay with Franco and Campbell for the next 3 games. So this is their opportunity right now. Can these 2 guys continue to play this well, keep the newcomer out, and continue? Because it's not going to be easy. We don't win in these places that we're going to. We don't win at Red Bulls. We don't win at the baseball stadium. And we don't win in Canuckland. Like, you don't win in those places. It's just, this is like the road trip from hell. So if they can do anything, I mean, if they could stop and get a couple clean sheets with Rocco, I mean, that shows a lot, and that shows that they want to earn their spot for the rest of the season.
Yeah. Now, going into Josh comment over here about Caleb Wiley, is it overreacting to say Wiley should be starting over Gutman? I think he's better for us. I don't know, man. Well, some decision making, in the final third, I feel like Wiley, maybe he's a little bit more. I don't want to say mature in it, but he's able to take better decisions. Obviously that's not
Wiley's
100%.
more mature.
Yeah, and some of the decisions, when it comes to the final third, I mean, like, I think that we haven't really seen that from Gutman, really. I mean, there's been times, like probably like the last 3 games before he was out from with the injury, he was starting to like kind of pick up the level. Yeah, the first game or so, or the first couple of games, he was tearing it up. He kind of went on. He kind of went down, like somewhat in his level. He was, not making, like the right moves and stuff. Like, I feel like, and I don't know. In my opinion, I'm kind of right with Josh. I mean, that's just me personally, man. I will definitely give Wiley more of that opportunity. Obviously, right now you don't really have nobody challenging him for that spot. But eventually you want to play him. At the end of the day, I feel like he has a better chance of making Atlanta United some money rather than Gutman. Don't get me wrong, Gutman's a freaking rock and everything. He fights for every ball and everything. I feel like defensively better than Wiley, but I don't know, with the style that Atlanta United has. Definitely, I feel like Wiley's a better option going forward. That's just my person. That's just me, man. Hey, man, what do you think? Like, come on, Tommy, hit me with something.
The kid's strong. I think the kid's
Well,
strong.
I'll go first.
Thanks. The kid's strong. Like, I know right now Gutman's not able to challenge him, but I think this is what he needs right now to grow as a player. I think, hey, the starter's out. This gives me time to get some familiarity with MLS, with the first division, all that good stuff. So I think it's good. And once Gutman comes back, then, obviously there's going to be a fight for that position, which is always good for any club, any player. You want to be challenged so you can up the skill. So that way, let's say Gutman regains his starting position again. Wiley will be ready to go as soon as, let's say something happens to Gutman or he needs to be subbed, whatever the case may be. So I think it's good. It's good growth for Wiley, him being so young, and of course him learning from Gutman. So, but for now, I say, let the kid play. Let him grow. Let him blow up if he needs to. So.
Yeah, and you don't have a choice. So, I mean, he's got to play. These next 3 games are what's going to make my decision on Wiley in the future, because these are tough teams, right? And like, especially a team like the Red Bulls. Like, I think in Andrew Gutman, if you were starting a playoff game and you were playing the Red Bulls, I think Gutman would be the guy that you would start and possibly sub Wiley on late. I think that Gutman's more of a physical player and more experienced, and I would trust him a little bit more in that. But what we've been saying, and obviously Atlanta's still trying to go for it this year with the signings that they've done. But in a season where you're still growing, this is whatever the fifth top 5 youngest team or top 3 youngest team in the league or whatever, you want to get these guys experience now. Wiley was not supposed to get this many minutes, I don't think. I think they were trying to get him in when they could, but I don't think the plan was probably to get this many minutes. Okay, well, his trajectory now is get a lot of experience right now, right? So, I mean, it's better for him, his career, and it's better for just the team in general to get more eyes on him. So I think it's a great experience. But these next 3 games are going to be gigantic for Caleb Wiley to see what he can do on the road in some very high pressure situations.
Yeah, I mean, man, I kind of lost my train of thought right now when you were telling me when you were telling this, but going into Josh coming, yeah, kind of what I was saying, with how Pineda plays or whatever, but yeah, the stretch of games ahead is obviously got a lot to tell, but before we get into all that, on the next games, there was some news out today about Atlanta United acquiring 2 international roster spots. That since I was actually at work all day, honestly, and legit, I did not read like what Atlanta United came out with when they said that, but I know one of them came from Nashville and the other one was from Seattle, and I'm actually pulling it up right now. And I'm sorry, guys, but yeah, it says Atlanta United acquire an international roster spot for the duration of the 2022 season from Nashville SC. In exchange of 175,000 in 2023 GAM money, and Atlanta United's natural third round selection in the 2023 MLS Super Draft, and yeah, the other one's from Seattle as well. So Tommy, I don't know if you read a little bit more into it. I mean, like I said, I really did not have any time to read into it, but obviously that's going into what the next 2 guys that we're going to be talking about. First one, I don't even remember who was announced first. We're just gonna call him Hercules, because that's who the hell he looks like. Juanjo, Sanchez, Hernandez, Rodriguez, Parada. Nah, but
JJ?
Yeah, we're just gonna call him JJ.
JJ Purata. I like that. Let's go.
Yeah, but he's
my wife is happy. She's very turned on by the center back. So
I bet, man.
That's what she told me when I showed her the picture. She's like, "Oh, okay." And she's been a little depressed after Villalba left. So it's been something, So so I mean, that's the analysis my wife gave was 2 thumbs up for that guy.
I think that's what yeah, I think it's a thumbs up from every woman from what I've seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Even some guys are like, yeah, I think I'll give him my house keys and a lifetime contract. I'm like, well, damn, bro, like, damn.
Have my kids. Here you go. Oh my god.
Yeah, no, but I mean, this guy, I mean, he's young. He's 23 years old, coming from Tigres. He's hasn't really had much experience in the first team from what I've seen. I haven't really kept up with Liga MX in a while, but I know, John, you said you've been doing your research on the new signing, so.
Yeah, so one thing about JJ, again, that's what we're gonna call him. One thing about JJ that I read was that he's not getting minutes, which, I mean, it's typical when Liga MX is very competitive team, especially Tigres, as we know, has been one of the top teams in that league. But I checked out some highlights of some of the good he's done so far. I think I checked specifically his last season or this season that just wrapped up or whatever. And he just seems like a very aware player. He's observant of his surroundings. There's a saying I had for it. I had it earlier. He basically, what I'm trying to say is, he sees a play coming together and he's ready to stop it at its, right there before he even touches the penalty box. You know what I mean? So I do like him. I like him so far from what I've seen. Of course, highlights only show most of the time the good. But from what I'm seeing, he's an aware player. He's not just, okay, guy has the ball, let me go and knock it from his foot. You know what I mean? Like, he's just very aware of I guess aware of the atmosphere of what's going on around him, ready to read plays. Oh, there you go. That's it. Reading the game. Perfect at that. So I would hope that, he's going to have a lot more playing time here, especially with Miles being out still. And, we'll see what we can do. I know Pineda being Mexican, obviously he's going to look towards that league and the players from Mexico. So I really hope that he comes in and he's ready to give it his all, because he's not starting at Tigres. And if he impresses Pineda, there you go. He might be just sticking around, and if he doesn't, well, obviously we know what happens. That loan just gets canceled and sent back to Tigres to ride the bench.
He looks physical as well. I mean, obviously, someone retweeted the shirtless picture of him, but the dude's buff, and there was a couple of plays that you saw. He doesn't get me going, but you see him play, and the highlights that Atlanta United posted and some of the stuff I saw on YouTube was like, he's definitely physical, and he does it in a clean way. At least, again, like you said, like, highlights show the good, but like some of the highlights you show, like, he just knocks guys off the ball very easily. So I mean, that's a good sign, but I understand that he's coming in, as a loan, but he's going to have to earn his time. And, like I said earlier, like Campbell and Franco are going to have to mess up. Right. And I thought Campbell looked the best as he did. I thought he looked the best all season as he did the other day. Now, granted, they were up, but even a couple of times where there were some counters when it was still even strength, I thought that he made some good decisions. So that was nice to see, just overall. So I hope that he gets some time. Obviously he will. Midweek games are upon us again, so he's probably going to get an opportunity. So it's nice that they're able to get him into practice. And that was one thing that I said earlier, was I was hoping that these signings weren't going to happen late in the transfer window, right? Like, we needed to get guys now, and that was important. So I'm happy that at least they're in now, so they can get some practice. So in case I think the game is on like July 8th or 9th against Austin. If we need them, they're ready to play. Because Rocco could be completely terrible. Now we'll talk about, the goalie, but like, if, Franco struggles here on this road trip, then we know who's starting, as soon as the transfer window opens.
Tommy, here it comes, Tommy.
Here we go. I thought he was coming on.
The club has started to sign Mexican reserve
I missed this
players.
guy's comments. I missed it.
What was that?
I don't miss any of him.
I'm trying to get him on here, man, because I don't know. He be having some good takes, but then some
seriously. This guy is gold. Everything he says is just gold.
Don't help him. Don't help him at all. Don't help this. Man. Don't encourage this.
But I mean, it's good, man. That I don't want to say we're just specifically focusing on one market, but I mean it's good that we're not going to Argentina how we usually do. Hopefully, eventually, down the road, we end up doing something with other countries, other leagues. But I don't know, man. I really don't. Who's the other guy? Hold up, let me get the banner. The goalkeeper, Godinho. He was a free agent coming from Chivas. He's also gonna be signing until the end of the season with option to extend the contract. Also, another guy that's like, I mean, I feel like he's actually got more to, you know, he's gonna have more. He's sorry, I'm just like these damn comments.
Oh yeah, I see the comment.
Yeah.
I'm showing him. I see the comment.
Yeah. No, I saw Tommy. That's why I hadn't even I didn't have the comments up. No, but you know, with Godinho, I feel like he's got more of an argument to make, you know, that he's, you know, ready to be a starter rather than the other guy Parada, which, you know, he's a much younger guy. You know, Godinho, there was, you know, rumors about a lot of people, you know, wanting him to start for the or be in the Mexico's national team. I don't know if you've seen anything, John, from any. I actually haven't seen any highlights from these guys. So,
I saw highlights of Godinho and I was impressed. So he's a quick reactor, definitely a guy. Oh, and another thing too, he's definitely one of those aggressive keepers that, you know, let's just say it's a 1v1 situation, he'll come at you with
oh, I
everything.
thought he was gonna get in the ref face. I'm like, oh, so that's why we got him. I'm like,
No. He's the type. If it's a 1v1 situation, he's coming at you, like, you know, no holds barred. One thing that I did see in his stats, and I mean, of course, stats can only go so far. Is, you know, for instance, he's got 9 appearances in the 21-22 Liga MX season. He's got 15 goals conceded, and he only has 1 clean sheet. So, you know, I know numbers kind of scare everyone, whatever, but again, the highlights show something completely different. Now, again, back to the whole highlight thing, you know, it only shows the good of it. But I think Godinho is probably the best transfer from these two for sure, because we obviously know our situation. You know, we have Rocco and we have our Lord and Savior Shuttleworth as options, and I'm pretty sure everyone can agree that we want to stick with Rocco. So, but that's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to get someone that can be of caliber like Gusan or better. But yeah, I mean, like, again, this is probably the best option between the two, or excuse me, the best transfer between the two. Thank you, sir.
He already follows me, and he hates me, so that doesn't say too much.
Thank you, sir.
So I can't think we got to start at the beginning of this whole thing, because we got to go back to the game, and you got to go back to the intermission when Brad Guzan was talking to John Champion and Taylor Twellman.
yeah.
He claims that he's got at least 2 to 3 years left in him. Now, that is scary. And I'm curious if there is a moment in this offseason where the front office and Brad Guzan butt heads. Because it's obviously the rumor is, at least what I thought I read, was that Brad Guzan lowered his salary but then extended it out possibly a couple extra years. I have not seen it anywhere. Talked about it last week. Still not sure. But you're signing a guy that is very likely you're going to, unless he's completely terrible, he very well could be our goalie of the future. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens here. I don't think Rocco and I don't think Shuttleworth are on the roster next year if Brad obviously comes back. But even with that, does this guy want to come in, Godinho, and want to play behind Brad? He's not coming here to be a backup. So this is an opportunity now for him to absolutely kill it and just obviously take the job from Brad. I still think Brad's future is with Atlanta United, but as a goaltender coach, and then possibly, you know, us also, you know, with the national team, because he's even mentioned before that he would like to work with the USA and work with the goaltender. So that's, listening to that interview, it doesn't seem like he wants to give up. And a lot of players don't want to end their careers on an injury. They want to come back and say that they made it back. But this could cause some issues in the offseason. And it's going to be very interesting to watch his recovery. Like I mentioned before, we had someone on Dirty South Soccer talk about he's a physical therapist here in Cleveland for university hospitals, and he said at a person at his age coming back and being able to get that jump off the field and to make a save is just going to be very hard for him after that type of surgery. So that it doesn't seem good, just medically wise. It's very much likely that somebody like, Robinson's going to come back and be close to 100% compared to someone like Brad or Ozzy. So I don't know. It's just, I thought that was interesting on what he was saying there. And I think that we need to remember that interview as it gets towards November, December, or even January, like right when we're getting close to preseason. What are they going to do with his roster spot? Does he retire and leave us an open spot and help us out? Or is he really going to, extend this out? And this front office seems to sometimes, with certain players, hold promises. And I think that with Brad and everything that he's done for Atlanta United, they're going to give him that opportunity to come back.
So I was actually looking up at the standings right now, and I got a notification about the U.S. Open Cup that New York are playing NYFC. And what a coincidence that's two of the next three games that we have. We're going to be playing Toronto next game away from home. We're actually on a 3-game road trip. Afterwards, I think we played the Red Bulls and then NYFC FC or whatever the hell. So I mean, I don't know, man. I think this is going to be a tough stretch for Atlanta United, given the fact that we haven't really been a good away team, given the fact that we also haven't really picked up points against playoff teams and, all these three teams. Well, matter of fact, both New York teams are in first and second place. So what can we take away as of now, going into the next 3 games?
I think you got to win this game. I think that Toronto, you go all out and you start everybody, because Toronto plays tonight in the Canadian Cup. So, Toronto has had a rough start to the season. They're below us, right? Still. But I think that we need to win. I think that if there's a game that we have to win, it's the Toronto game. And I said that against Miami because we were going on the road for 3. That it was a must win. I'm going to say that this is a must win as well, because I don't think that we take any points in New York. I just don't think it happens, but I think that we do. I think that we can pull a win out in Toronto. We've had some crazy ones in Toronto in the past, and maybe we haven't won, but we've gotten better. So I think that this is going to be the game where if they go all in, and Toronto's probably, I haven't checked the lineup, and I think the game probably already started. But I assume that they're going to go all in on this game because they want to get into Champions League. So I think we have an opportunity to take advantage of a team on a midweek game.
So Toronto, on a personal level, I always seen Toronto as our Achilles heel, because I remember our first playoff game back in, when we had the inaugural season, we played them, and of course they beat us. I know the season after we had won the championship, when we all projected the final to be LAFC versus Atlanta, we lost to Toronto. So it's like, I don't know, man. I from what I've seen, I've always had like a bad experience with Toronto. I personally think we're not going to get nothing out in Toronto. We're not going to get any points. I think we're more likely to get points with against Red Bulls, but against NYCFC, yeah, we're not going to get any points. Absolutely. I think our best bet is Red Bulls. But even then, I'm still thinking it's going to be a tie.
I don't think we've ever scored at Red Bull Stadium ever.
Jesus.
We've never scored a goal there. And so, yeah, in Toronto was the game that we lost where we could have won the Supporter Shield. That was the game that cost us at the end of the year. So you look at what you have, and you have I think that game's a midweek game on a Thursday. The the Red Bulls game, and then it's like Sunday, I think, that we play that. You're obviously getting Amada back for the Yankees game, right? So I mean that'll be interesting to see what we have there. But we saw in the playoff game last year how your fast guys can become completely irrelevant in a small stadium. And Aruju was our worst player on the field in that playoff game. At least that was my opinion. So, Amada coming back, maybe with some of his passing, we could do well there. But I think that we got at least at minimum we have to get 3 points, and I'm going to say that we obviously we'll see who's right here, but I think that we get it in Toronto.
Now, James never. Oh, here's James, man. Literally popping in for 1 second. We need a Tommy and Sylph debate. I'm trying to get Sylph on here, man. I'm trying to get Sylph on here, but
I'm stretching. I'm getting ready for this.
We need it.
Man, if I'm being honest, man, about the next 3 games, oh man, if we're lucky, I say we pick up a point, man. And I'm being realistic. But
a point against who is my question. A point against who?
Toronto.
Okay.
Let's go. Yeah.
Okay.
Seriously, I mean, that's the only team that I see us, having, or that I don't know. It's just the New York teams, man. Even at home, I mean, there's been time. There's only when Atlanta United was like 2018 or 2019. I think we ended up winning. I think if I'm not mistaken, 2019. I think Joseph got like a hat trick against them, like a last minute game winner or something like that.
In Toronto?
So it's in New York City against New York City at home. But New York, I don't know, man. Both teams have always been that team that has been tough for them. I don't know, man.
I always see red. Like for me, the team I fear mostly from those 3 is definitely Toronto. But when I see Red Bull, I always think of the Red Bull of Henry. I mean, that's when I started watching MLS. But no, Red Bull's always had a strong team, and of course NYCFC with this momentum they have, being champions and all. I mean, it's gonna.
And I mean, hey man, good thing. Speaking of Toronto, I forgot about that guy that's coming, man. Lorenzo Insigne. I completely forgot about him. We're lucky we're not having to fucking play him right now. If not, just imagine,
dude. And
the Italians are coming.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we had Chiellini coming to LAFC as well.
Oh snap! I forgot about him. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if you know, Tommy. I'm a big Serie A fan. I mean, my favorite team is AC Milan. So I've seen Insigne out there. I don't know what he's doing in MLS. I get it, the paycheck, it's there, but my guy, he's coming in hot. Like he's not slowing down. He's still at a very top level, and he's gonna be like, what's that player that Toronto had? Also Italian.
Giovinco, yeah.
Giovinco, right?
Giovinco.
Man,
Yeah.
like Insigne is he's double of what Giovinco is. So I am like ready to see Insigne tear up with Toronto. And I'm so scared for that because again, for me, Toronto's our Achilles heel. So like, and then Chiellini and LAFC, I don't know. He's not. I don't know. He's just gonna play dirty. I don't expect nothing much from him. I mean, let's just be honest. Chiellini's known for playing dirty. I mean, y'all remember him in the Euro. Y'all remember him in the World Cups. I mean, I watch him in Serie A all the time. So he's a dirty player. If you pass him, he's just gonna knock you down. It is what it is. And gonna complain to the ref. So
yeah, well, I don't know, man. Yeah, like I said, I'm not getting my hopes up too high, for the next road trip that we have. And it doesn't get any easier afterwards, honestly. Then I think we play Austin. If after that, I'm actually gonna be there. Hopefully. And then Real Salt Lake, Orlando, LA Galaxy. Then we have
I'll be
Chicago. Man, and Seattle and Cincinnati. I mean, I don't know, man. We're getting to that point of the season where we're starting to get, these teams that are, tough. Friggin' self. This guy.
We're losing the next 10. Nah, I mean, not against Orlando, man. Come on, have some faith here. Yeah, I'm going to the Orlando game. I'm definitely gonna be at that game. We haven't played Austin, have we?
July 9th.
We haven't. We haven't yet. No, neither away or at home.
So this would be the first game against them. Okay.
Yeah, I think if I'm not mistaken, there's only 2 teams that Joseph hasn't scored. I think it's 2 or 3. I think it's Vancouver, Austin. He hasn't scored against Charlotte, has he? Or no, he didn't score this season against them.
No.
Well, yeah, no, it's 3 then. Yeah, it's Charlotte, Vancouver, and Austin. Yeah, because I haven't played Austin as well. So hopefully, man, he'll be able to, score against them. And Joseph, we didn't really talk about, how much he contributed, this past game. Personally, I feel like, he had way better mobility than what he had previous to, this last cleanup that he had in his knee. So that's definitely something that you like to see. Definitely, I mean, he even made it to the team of the week. He picked up a goal and an assist. So I mean, that's always good to see. Coming from your number 9.
I mean, really, he got the 2 yellows. I mean, he forced both of them, right? Like the first one, they took him out right near the box, and then that pass to Moreno, which was a nice pass, ended up, Moreno started breaking. They took him down, 2nd yellow. So, I mean, Joseph was a big part of that.
It's good to see. It's good to see Joseph definitely putting in that work. This is the Joseph we've all been wanting since his injury. I mean, I just hope he can keep the scoring up, man, because I know everybody's been having their doubts about him, about him being fully back. He seems more hesitant. He seems just not the same. So if he can just pump in these goals here and there, man, we'd be solid, man. We'd be solid. And that's the player we need. That's the Joseph we need. So I'm hoping to see him more on the score sheet, at least give an assist. You know what I mean? Assist is always a confidence booster. So
his face looks a lot skinnier. I mean, that was something at least I noticed. Yeah. Like when he came back, and I think they did the jersey reveal of our current home jersey. When he came out there, he was like, "What do you think of the jersey?" And he said, "I'm fat." So, and he did. He looked bigger, and that was just something that immediately I noticed. Like when they showed him on camera, just his face looked thinner. So I mean, obviously, when you feel good, you can work out more, and obviously get in better shape. So, I mean, he's obviously feeling better, so he's probably able to, he's a little bit more motivated to stay in shape. When you're not, when you're hurting, you don't feel like working out, and I mean, because you're just consistently just feel like shit, so it's hard to do. So I mean, yeah, I mean, hopefully this sticks, right? Like, I mean, we've seen this where he goes through some games and all of a sudden he just disappears randomly with, a knock or we don't have an explanation. So, it'll be interesting to see how they monitor his minutes, because he was
winded. He was winded.
He went on the header that he took, which I thought was a nice header. He got some air. He came down a little awkward, and I was a little nervous about that. I think Joe Patrick was saying that, like right in the middle of the game, he asked for a gel pack, and they threw him one. And like at that point, I'm screaming at the TV because we still had some people subbing. Get him the fuck out the field! Like, he's exhausted. Why is he playing the entire game? We're up to nothing. We don't need him here. And they didn't take him out. We could have put anybody in. You could have just put McFadden on just so he could touch the field for a couple minutes, just to get him the experience. You could put anybody on for the last couple minutes just to help play defense, but we didn't. We at least
Shuttleworth, at least, right? To
help his touches. No, never Shuttleworth. Never Shuttleworth.
Yo,
gotta,
we
anybody.
completely forgot about Dom Dwyer, yo. I just forgot about
Oh.
him, like trying to fight. Like he literally was like, "Yo, bro, come out there and I'm about to whip your ass."
No, so the best part of that is you're watching it on TV and he's calm and then he starts running towards the guy and then like Ibarra's trying to stop him. So at that point, like when Ibarra's trying to stop you, when he wants to murder everybody as well, and then Dom would be like, I'm okay, and then he'd hug Ibarra, and as soon as he was done with the hug, he'd start running again to go attack him, and then like he did it to somebody else. He goes hugs somebody else, and then the guy like figured out what was going, like still held on to him, like he was just trying to trick his own players into letting him go by giving him a hug. Awesome. Amazing.
Hey, Dom is going Dom.
Yeah.
Nah, but I mean, I don't know. With Dom it's kind of hard to figure, if he's that piece or that backup number 9 that Atlanta United want. Obviously, if Joseph's 100% or close to 100%, you obviously want him starting. But the big question is, who's going to be that number 2 guy that's going to be there willing to step up if anything happens, or once Joseph's winded out 80th minute, whatever. It's just narrows another answer. Do we see him leaving July 7th? I think that's when his loan is over. Like what's the deal with him? I mean,
We need another hat trick is what we need from him. Another hat trick.
We play Chicago again. It could happen.
There you go.
No, I think there's zero chance Cisneros leaves, and I know people aren't going to like that. But if you listen very closely to the coaching staff and listen to other players on what they think that he provides, I just don't see him leaving. And you can disagree with what they're saying, but I think everybody on that team loves him, and a little bit about what he does off the ball as well. But I see him staying, throughout this window.
what about you, John? You think that Cisneros is going to be that guy to stick around, or is Dom going to be the one taking that place?
Nah, I'm definitely with Cisneros. Although I do like Dom. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, he's been scoring. I know he scored in what was it? The Open Cup.
Yeah.
I guess
He scored in the
Nashville.
Open Cup. I know he scored that first that goal in the first game. But I mean, I like him. I like he pushes forward. He's another lefty that we need on the field. But I really haven't been super impressed with him. I like his attitude though. I will say that. But yeah, I go with Ronaldo.
I mean, he's versatile, right? Like he's versatile, right? Like that's what they want. They want a guy that can play at wing as well. And obviously they got rid of club MVP Jake Mulroney, so they have to have somebody that's able to play on the wing as well. Yeah. That's for all you Mulroney lovers out there. But they need someone out there, and maybe he's not Jake, but they need someone out there that can play a couple different positions, right? Like Tito Villalba was able to do this similar thing. So when you have limited roster options right now because of all your injuries and who you're able to bring on, I think that he's just nice to have. There is, to help out. I am a Jake Mulroney hater. Thank you. But I assume here, and I haven't really paid attention. I think that we only have one. He would not be our best player right now. Get out of here, you dummy. You got to. You have to. The U22 spot, because Eric Lopez is getting sold for $20, is what I said earlier. Like you just got to get him off the books, right? I mean, Eric Lopez has got to come out. We can't have him. We got to get something, and I still think that it's a winger, a true winger, and MLS, like that's what really is a bank, is finding those wingers, those young wingers, and we just got to find that. Like that's what we need right now. And see, we're about to agree on something, and you just wanted to fire me. I'm talking your language, and you want to fire me. See, look at that. Put that stupid last comment up. Well, not stupid because I was agreeing, but the one before that, Tommy out, get out of here. But that's what we need. Like young wingers is what's really taking over MLS, and that's what we need to do. I know, Lopez was maybe going to be the Joseph replacement. People were saying early on that's not there. We've got a couple guys that can be behind Joseph that can score. We need to find that winger and develop him, right? Like I don't know, like Pineda's supposed to be good at helping young players, right? And help them get better. My shock is that Ibarra is our best U22 player. Like if you told me at the beginning when we signed all three basically immediately that Ibarra was going to be our best player, that's crazy. And you can have the argument that Sosa had that good string of games before he got injured for almost a year now. But Ibarra is getting better every single game. As long as he doesn't get a yellow early on in the game, he's one of our best players out there. Am I old? I don't even know what that means.
You winning, Tommy. That's all you need to know.
Oh,
you winning.
I know. All right.
I'm old. Jesus.
No, but
it's no more Tommy out. It's Wami.
Yeah.
There we go.
Tommy in.
Yeah, man. Well, before we head out, guys, predictions, well, just for the next game, Toronto. I'll say 2-2.
I'll say 2-1.
Close game.
1-0 Toronto.
Hater.
What about I want to hear the other guys on the chat. Josh Simmons talking about 3-1 Atlanta. I said that last game, and I don't know. I felt like it was gonna be a high scoring game eventually because of being one man down. God damn! Lose 4-0. Oh, God damn, Zilf.
Zilf out. Zilf out.
Hold up, man. I gave the 1-0, not 4. Hold up.
Damn. No ball knowledge.
Oh my God, yo.
Nah, man.
Yo, get him in the ring.
Nah, but seriously, I would be honestly like stupidly surprised if we end up coming out of there with a disappointed, miserable. I don't know what to even call that result. 2-1 Atlanta. Yeah, that's more like it. There we go. It's Wolf now. It's not Stilf. There we go. Self.
It's Wolf.
But yeah, man. I don't know, man. Eventually, I feel like we're just every game that we have from this point forward, is just gonna get harder, man. There's gonna be a lot of teams going. Teams that are going to be fighting, as hopefully us as well, are fighting for playoff spots. We're not, I don't think, halfway through the season yet, but eventually it's going to get to that point where every game is going to start counting like big time, and you don't want to have to obviously end up relying on any other results. Like how it happened last season with us, that we're basically 1 point away from hosting a playoff match. So if that happens this season, if we're in the playoff picture, but there's still a lot to play, and like I said, there is just a matter of getting better every single game for these guys.
I mean, yeah, we got 3 games on the road, but then we come back and we got 3 games at home. We got Austin, Salt Lake, and then Orlando.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know I just said that Toronto probably going to beat us 1-0, but I got to be honest. I think that if we are able to win against Toronto, that will give us the momentum to go into Red Bulls, get the momentum into NYCFC, and probably change the typical narrative of us probably losing points there. Because if we can beat Toronto, that's 3 games unbeaten. I know, no one considers that cup real, but whatever, right? A trophy is a trophy. But 3 games, getting those 3 wins would absolutely affect the mentality of the players. And I think that'd be great for us, especially going into New York, where it's always hard for us. So I think that if we can beat Toronto, we might have something going, which is what we always want. We always want that momentum, that nice momentum that Atlanta always has mid-season, typically. Like last season, right? We left Hines, Valentino came in, boom, we started wrecking every team that showed up. So hopefully we have something like that. That'd be great.
And you will get players back.
That too.
You're gonna get a few guys back. I mean, you're gonna get Gutman back.
Yes.
And Wiley could play on the wing too. Like that's another thing that you could have that'll add depth. So there's different things that we're going to be able to do as players start coming back. So that'll be interesting to see. Toronto's winning 2-0.
Damn, I canola brace. Yeah, I've only been keeping up with the games, but
yeah,
Wiley, the New York games are also, they're gonna be interesting, man.
Wiley can be our own little Alphonso Davies, homegrown Davies, potentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't really looked at their lineup. I don't know too much about Toronto to even know if they played most of their guys. Pozuelo.
Yeah, he's a starter.
Jimenez.
Yeah. Well,
so Bradley.
Damn, I haven't seen him playing forever, honestly. Michael Bradley.
You always forget he's alive.
Yeah, better than Davis. Better than him. Hey man, no. Speaking of Wiley, like seriously, I mean, do you guys think that he's better than Bello at this point and has a bigger roof than Bello at this point, or a better potential, let's say, of reaching a better team or having higher expectations at the moment than Bello?
I think it's too early to look at that. I mean, there were a couple games really early. I mean, but Bello scored in the second game, I think, that he played or something like that. But I assume that he probably, I think that if we look at it, that I wouldn't be shocked if he sells for more and has a better career with Atlanta United. I wouldn't be shocked about that, but we're living in the moment. So, of course, we're going to say yes.
Nah, I like Bello. I love Bello. I hate that he went to a low table team in Germany. I don't know what he's doing over there, but it is what it is, But yeah, I'm with Tommy a little bit. I think it's a little too soon. But no, we'll see. I hope Wiley just comes out of nowhere, destroying the league. But it all depends on time at the end of the day.
Yeah. Well,
all
guys.
Right, well, Stanley Cup finals are on, so.
Oh no, I figure, man. That's why you told me 7:30 because I just got the notification the game was about to start.
Go Ducks!
Yeah, man. Yeah,
they're not in it, but yeah, it's already 1-0. So I'm gonna go. You guys have
all right, guys.
A magical evening.
We're about to head out.
2-1 Atlanta over Toronto. Not 4-0. Marini sucks. Bye, guys.
All right, all right, John, man. Thank you for being here, my dude, man. Hopefully you're here next time.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for the invite, man.
I'll see you next time, man.
All right, man. Have a good one.
All right.